Also, I forgot, this is 2 bags of Sardinia chicken strips. You want to break them into little pieces and help them brown. These are some potatoes that I roasted in salt water. And so we're going to cut these potatoes up so we can put them in that oil that the chicken was in and give it a nice little crisp, as well as seasoning besides the salt that was already added to the water. In our pot, we're going to add in our potatoes, which we boiled probably a little too long, but we're going to go ahead and use it and just call it all good. And there you go. Let that get a little crisp, and we're going to add it to this tray. Make sure you season, because you want every layer of your food to have seasoning in it. So it's just not like, this is good, but I need to add extra. Everything I cook is seasoned with love and from the ancestors. So let the ancestors move you. Don't be bland. Herbs, seasoning. You don't have to do salt. Extra herbs, extra seasoning. Okay, when it looks a little crispy like this, you want to go ahead and take it out. I'm going to go ahead and sweat down our onions and celery. To break up the browning at the bottom, we're going to add in some butter. So we use oil. See how that breaks it up? It loosens up the browning. Turn your heat down medium to make sure, but as you see, there's some browning in here, and that's perfectly fine with me. But you want your vegetables to look like this, to have it lightly sweat down. And then we're going to add in our flour and then our almond milk. I don't measure when I cook, so just sprinkle in that much flour, enough for you to get a roux. And then we'll add in our vegetable broth we made today. That is it's over here. Vegetable broth. Stir this down until you have cooked off the floury paste. Here's your vegetable broth. Pour that in. Pour that in. Vegetable broth. Pour that in. Let's see how that. So we added in, I think it was like 3. It's not full cups, because again, I'm not measuring. Like, really, I wish I was good at that, but anywho. You pour in your almost 3 cups, or probably we'll say 2.5 cups of vegetable broth. We're also, as you can see, this looks like it's getting thick. I might want to add in another cup of vegetable broth, and then I'm going to add in some almond milk. You can use half and half, but this is what we're using. I added in another cup or a half a cup of vegetable broth, and this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to add in some almond milk. We're adding in the almond milk. Like I said, you can use half and half. There wasn't a lot of almond milk in here, so we're just using that. So this is what your gravy should look like, and I'm loving this vegan plant-based life. I'm making things that I normally wouldn't have made for myself and enjoying the plant-based version of it, and especially because I'm seasoning it to my liking. So in here we have onions, celery, a little bit of vegan butter, and grapeseed oil and residue that was from those that were pan-seared in grapeseed oil. So we're just going to add everything into this mixture, and then we're going to put it in our baking dish. A bag of organic mixed vegetables. We're going to add our chicken in, well, vegan chicken. And we're going to add in our now potatoes that have been lightly boiled and then sauteed to get like a little char. Well, not a char, a little crisp. And yes, my hands are clean. Once you have everything into the pot, gently fold so you don't break up your potatoes. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, that's what everything will look like once you make sure everything was coated in your gravy and gently folded everything over. So we're gonna go ahead and let this cool off a little, and then we're gonna get our pie dough ready for our pan. So this is the dish I'm using. You can get yourself some pie dough, and then you're gonna roll it out into this dish. So the pie dough broke, and I need it to be Gucci. So we're gonna roll this thing out with this. So you wanna make sure you put a little flour on your rolling pin, and then roll out like that, and then turn as you keep rolling the dough out so you can have a nice circle. And then turn a little bit of this flour and then roll. So you roll your dough out to go into your dish. The way to get your dough into your baking dish is to roll it onto the pin and lightly move it over and place it close to the center. So because I'm the one filming this, I don't know why I didn't think about my tripod, but anyway, it seems like I don't get great angles with that. But you roll then you make sure that's even, and then you roll it out and just make sure that you take out all the air pockets, and you just gently tuck. Try not to put any holes in there, okay? So it'll look like this, nicely tucked in, no air pockets. You check the sides, you pat out the bottom, and it has a rustic look, but it's okay. We're just gonna work with it. It's gonna look pretty, and most importantly, it's gonna be delicious. So this is our filling, and we're gonna add it into our pie crust. And make sure to keep it in the middle, and then work your way in the middle, and then work your way towards the outside, because you do not want this to basically explode in your stove. But you can always make sure to put a tray underneath just for safety. So you fill your pie crust, and then we're gonna put the top crust on, and then get it ready for the stove. And the stove is preheated on 450 degrees. We're gonna place it on the bottom rack of the stove and let that cook for 12 to 15 minutes, and then lower the temperature to 350 and let that cook for another 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how depending on the oven and the altitude, because that makes a difference when you're baking. Get your top layer on, and then you want to, it's gonna be hard because I'm using need both my hands, but you want to kind of get 2 fingers and then push push through 2 fingers and then push in between. 2 fingers and then push in between. 2 fingers and then push in between. And just keep working your way around. Okay, so it doesn't look the prettiest, but what we're gonna do is score it, put some holes in there to let the steam out, and then we're gonna brush a little, what is it called? A little maple syrup and water to give it a golden crust. So this is the scoring. You take your knife and just cut through, and then you part it just a little bit. This is a little janky, but whatever. In this solo cup I have some maple syrup, just a little bit to cover the bottom of the cup, and then I added equal parts water, so you want it to have kind of like that consistency. And then I added just a little bit of butter. I don't know why, the ancestors told me, so I'm just gonna listen to them. Take this, and this is what it looks like, and then you just rub it all over your pie. That's the mixture, and then rub it all over your pie. So your pie should be glistening all over its body, okay? Glistening, you see that shine? That's what you want on your pie. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven. The oven was preheated on 450. We're gonna bake it for 12 to 15 minutes, and it's on the lower shelf. And then we'll drop the temperature down to 350, and then let it cook for another 12 to 50 minutes. So that's the pie in the oven on the lowest shelf, and it's gonna be in here for 12 to 15 minutes, and then we will again turn it down to 350 and then let it cook for some more. So this is the pie. I allowed it to sit out and cool off. Like I said, this is my first time making it. Doesn't look bad. I'm okay with the way it looks, even though it's a little brown. So we'll work on that, but let's go ahead and cut it and see what's going on. I cut a piece, as you can see, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out.